This video is sponsored by Hayes Repair Shop. Conveniently located next to Del Perro Pier, our team of all-star mechanics are equipped to handle any problem that you can throw at them. From bikes to trucks and everything in between. Grab a bite and listen to some music while you wait. Hayes Repair Shop, setting the bar for automotive excellence since 2024.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you all for coming out to the business town hall that we're going to be having today. At the end, we'll have a little bit of a Q&A for anybody that needs to have any questions answered, but we're going to go over a couple points and address anybody's concerns. So for those of you here that aren't familiar, my name is Mayor T. I'm the Mayor of San Andreas. Behind me is some of my deputy mayors, as well as the business council, both the governor's side and the mayor's side. I'd like to address firstly the largest and first thing we kind of did as an act in office, which was introduce the business census. And I'd like to thank you all for those who did submit your census info. You've helped us all greatly in finding out the direction you wanted to continue, and if your missions were the same as when you endeavored on starting them. We've also ended up now heavily cutting back on inactive businesses. And this wouldn't have been, possible if we didn't actually have you guys all submitting that info that we need. The information we've gathered from it has been invaluable. And we have a lot of businesses now also looking to transfer into different avenues, which is great. Don't think that you're stuck in one avenue type of a business either. You can approach us at any time about if you want to transition into a different business form. Not that it's going to be guaranteed or anything, but we can obviously accommodate and talk. If there's any questions about the business census, currently I'd like to hear them now, though.
I got a question.
Yep.
How come you picked a spot where it doesn't have any disability ramps to get in? I had to wait to get somebody to pick me up.
Oh my goodness, is that... You know what, we're going to have to get something done about this park. That's horrible, Stacy. We'll get some ramps in next time.
You got to ramp the flat line, but not the park. Real smart.
All right, does anybody have any questions about the business census? Any questions about maybe people that couldn't make it to the business census? I know we're waiting on a few people still. The deadline was on the 31st. Some people had some exceptions if they were out of town for, specific reasons or out of the state. You can be assured that they're probably okay if they've talked to us already or been reached out to by us. If not, we'll move on. Perfect. So we're here to talk now about the general state of business. We're going to be encouraging a lot more hubs in the state, and that's why you're going to have consolidation, as I'm sure a lot of you have noticed as well. When we came into this office, there was businesses that haven't operated in a year, 6 months, actively in weeks and weeks and weeks, business licenses that haven't been renewed in months. I can say we're at the upwards mark of 50 businesses that have been closed down at this point, with the grand majority of them being highly inactive. So this is something that should have been dealt with in the past, and we're kind of just actually dealing with it now. To get these hubs going, we needed more than just the inactive businesses to come together with this, though. So smaller businesses, one-man shows is something we're really heavily tackling. Obviously, everybody here is aware and has been, subject to feeling this sort of a thing when you do go around the state. You can go around and go to a food truck that has one person working it. And maybe there's another food truck a couple miles away that's also got one person working it. There could even be a third, one person working it. And if you ask them, how often do they get visitors, customers, whatever, oftentimes it might be something like an hour. This doesn't offer anybody any benefit in this state. We don't have traditions being built, communities being fostered, habits being formed. business isn't growing. So in order to combat this, we're now offering a $10,000 offer and also pathways to success if you want to actually strive to maintain your business and grow it. The $10,000 offer is via the governor's office. If you so choose, and if you so wish, if you don't have the drive anymore, if you maybe just don't see yourself being able to compete, you can approach us and we can take that. We'll go ahead and sort you out. This is primarily for food trucks right now. I'll have you know. This is heavily focused at food trucks, so don't worry about anything else. But if you're like, say, a 1-2 person operation, we're very much so looking to help you achieve the goals you want to achieve yourself. We just ask that you apply yourself to the steps we give you and try and get to the milestones that we want to see everybody reach. And that's mostly nothing to do with this number that's been thrown out there about 24/7. It's never been uttered by us ever in any circumstance. What we want to see is we want to see people working together with more than one person. So we can get your shift bolstered, and then that shift can bleed into other shifts if you have your workers doing their own due diligence. We'd also like to make use of the markets that are available. As many of you know, we have Vespucci, we have the Dean's World markets down there, and we're getting a lot of the businesses out. They're going to be open for a lot of people if you do want to move there. We also have Grapeseed Main Street now available. We can get you moved into laptops there. These are things to keep in mind as a business owner if you're trying to situate yourself somewhere long term. We have Del Perro Plaza with an opening that is by the Bean Machine. So if you're a business that think you can make use of that property, reach out to us after this. We'll see if we can get you situated. And we also have Wisp Bloom Plaza for more pop-up style availability, which we're also going to be making use of. You can talk to us on the day to set up with that, most likely. But just please let us know if you're also interested in moving your business to a separate location of the state in general. And to reiterate one more time as well, we are not looking for 24/7 coverage or even everyday coverage. We just want you to fill your own shifts out so we don't have one person alone cultivating nothing and growing the state in no ways. We're willing to help you with this all the way, start to finish. We have a lot of lines that we can help you draw and plans and milestones to meet. Next, I would like to move over to the construction aspect, which a lot of you have questions about. And for the construction aspect, I will have Miss Tiffany Devine behind me speak on that, as they are actually more along the lines of somebody that should deal with this from the governor's office. So,
hey everybody, my name's Tiffany. I work on the business council with my two sisters who couldn't be here today. We're working alongside the business council and the mayor's office to kind of help bring the resources from the governor's office to the mayor's office. So there's a little bit of a common misconception about construction, and I just kind of wanted to clear up some things. First of all, when your business is first approved, construction should be the farthest thing from your mind. You're kind of in stage one. You know, you have to establish your business, really put yourself out there. And we have plenty of options such as Vespucci Markets or Wisp Bloom Plaza. We have a new location on Tackle Street that we're going to be opening soon. That's going to have like almost kind of like a farmer's market vibe where there'll be kiosks available and you can sell your wares. We're going to try to set up, market days and things like that coming up. But we have to be, conscious because this kind of goes on to the next point. We can't put people in a lot of locations. There's only a finite amount of locations in the city to be able to have locations for people. So, we're going to be paying attention to kind of how many people are in one area, because when there's too many things in one area, there's a lot of fumes in the air. And it can give everybody a lot of headaches with the fumes. Construction and property lines. Those can be requested when you get your business started. but there's no guarantee that they will be approved. I know that things might have been different in previous mayorships, but please realize this is a new mayor and a new way of doing things, and we're trying to get things back on track in certain ways. So if you do request property lines and they are denied, don't get too upset about it, because we really want to try to utilize what's available. Things like the Vespucci markets, the Del Perro Plaza, even if you buy a home, like some businesses in the South Side and in Sandy Shores have utilized buying a home and converting it into a business. We encourage that because you're using the tools that are given to you, and it's a hell of a lot less fumes. We want to see people establish like a large, customer base, a solid customer base, and really kind of show proof of concept of your business before construction's even considered. Let me look at my notes. Oh yeah, another thing with construction I did want to, inform the public is sometimes there are doors that are just bolted shut so tight that we cannot get into. And those will probably not be pried open. So requesting, buildings to have the doors opened and things of that matter, I would just really don't get your hopes up there. I'm just going to be very honest. So if there is something you have, a dream for that is bolted shut and we can't get in, and you ask for the property lines of that location, there is no guarantee you'll ever actually be able to get inside, because they use some really high quality metal. During the Q&A part, if anybody has any construction questions, we can go further.
Tiffany? I'd like to reiterate one more thing on the food businesses as well, just so you do understand. The consolidation and merging of food businesses also counts for the close down payments offered by the governor's office of $10,000. So we can give that to even both parties if we get a big mega consolidation going on. This is only to strengthen them, improve profits, and improve food accessibility. So I highly, highly suggest at least contemplating doing that if you are somebody that maybe can't run as much as you would like to. Now, I think it was mentioned as well with the thing we're going to be doing with more venues as well. We do have plans to reopen the Food Truck Fridays down on Tackle Street. We already have the setup ready. So look out for an announcement about that coming later today. We'll go ahead and word that the way we want to word that, but food trucks, you're not just being forgotten about. We're not only moving everybody into venues and completely forgetting them. Some people only want to be a food truck too. And events do need catering, so look forward to that. We'll have an announcement for you after this. I do want to also heavily state that you really need to be utilizing your local farmers and hunters for ingredients and needs. They're also struggling, and there's a lot of people that do a lot of self-farming, and currently that's hurting a larger aspect of this ecosystem in this state. So please, please, please try and reach out to your farmers. Now, we're going to go ahead and let Eddie take a step up, and he'll cover his portion of this, and I'll return.
Hello, hi. Oh, my portion in regards is going to probably be a very hot topic. So I'm going to just go ahead and rip that band-aid off. It is about the AI. So, obviously, here's the thing. We originally had allowed the usage of AI as long as it was edited and actually maintained to the standard that we see fit. Now, here's another thing. AI has not been regulated for the past 2 terms plus. There are numerous businesses that I know of that utilize AI, that are established businesses that people do frequently go to. Now, with that being said, it is probably within the best interest of those businesses to make sure that they are reviewing their packaging and products correctly and possibly doing an overhaul. We are going to be reviewing that, because just how easy we were able to kind of come up with an idea so we wouldn't have to worry about the current packaging, we changed it. There is no AI allowed. Period. Now, as an artist myself, I understand the uses of AI is obviously controversial. With the lack of regulation from prior candidacies, we were trying to regulate it and making sure that we can regulate it in a manner that isn't so detrimental to the current businesses that actively utilize that kind of service. So, with that being said, this is going to be relied heavily on the artists of San Andreas. I'm sure you guys are going to get a mountain of work, because usually within a week to 2 weeks, after we talk to the cabinet itself, we may also be reviewing the businesses that currently utilize those kind of services, and we may be having a conversation with you guys. Obviously, we don't want to shut down businesses or anything like that, but it is heavily encouraged that if you do utilize those AI services, that you start making the amendments for any kind of logo, rebranding, any kind of packaging right away. All right. On the other hand, you can also look and reach out to the business council if you do have questions about any kind of artist that you may need that to handle packaging, because we are more than happy to provide the resources and the contact information of a business that is established in San Andreas that does that kind of custom work. So, by all means, you can call any of us, and we're more than happy to communicate. But that's pretty much my end in regards to AI. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions at all?
Yeah, you said that the AI was not being regulated beforehand, even though it was clearly against policy. Why was that the case?
Unfortunately, there are people, we are people, fire cabinets, things like that, things do fall through the cracks. Gotta remember that not everyone is trained in identifying AI. It is not something that we can just simply run through a generator and to identify if it's AI, and unfortunately, some people might not know it's AI. Keep that in mind, is that human error is there, like a computer. So, it does happen.
So why was the policy changed then in the first place, and why is it being reverted back after the public outrage?
Well, no. Here's the thing about the policy. The policy was changed in effect so we can try to help mitigate the damages with the packaging. Since there's already an astronomical number of businesses that currently use AI, it would be... To be honest, it would be a complete show if we were to say, hey, guess what? Because we are now enforcing this, we've been quote-unquote grandfathered in and been utilizing those services, then... well, guess what? Now you can't, and now your business is potentially going to get shut down, even though you've been active and, been around the entirety of San Andreas for quite a while, and just because someone decided not to regulate it. Give them an opportunity to have, sets to slowly kind of ease our way in on being able to regulate this in a more demure manner.
I feel like that's on them for being lazy as fuck instead of actually hiring people.
Well, yeah, that is true, Mira, but at the same time, when it's over 15 plus businesses, unless all 15 plus businesses are lazy as then, gotta do what we gotta do and try to make sure we can do the least amount of minimum damage as possible to those businesses too, and try to help them rather than shutting them down completely.
Well, why is it a concern that these businesses would be shut down when it was obviously against policy and you guys did not enforce that? Why could that not have just been something you spoke to them about and rectified?
Well, that's the thing, not everyone has already available artists.
Hello, my name is Lucky Beach. I'm a ready available artist. I co-own Kitsugi, an art business with my two sisters, and we have several employees.
So are you telling me, Kitsugi, right now, if I were to give them 10 plus businesses that require about 20 different packaging designs, you would be able to complete that order within a timely manner?
Yes.
because we've been doing it for months.
So 10 plus businesses with over 20 plus packages.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
I just did 15 packages.
Okay, then I'd be more than happy when we do reach out to the businesses that utilize AI. I'd be more than happy to give your guys' recommendation for them to go to you. It's not a problem. As an artist of myself, who actively draws and does digital artwork, including cartooning, well, I understand that we all have lives out, as well, and we need to make sure that we can time and manage ourselves before others. So if you think you can do it, by all means, that's 100% great. We'll happily give you guys the work and tell people to go utilize your services. You also have to understand from our perspective is that we need to make sure that we're not burning artists out as well. Something that hasn't been regulated for the past 2 terms. It's coming from one artist to another artist, to be honest.
Yep. Is that about it, Eddie?
That's everything, unless anyone has any other further questions on AI art.
Do these businesses so these businesses have like a deadline before they get shut down or
It's
what?
gonna be a grace period.
There's gonna be a grace period.
Is
We
it
are
gonna be
going
short or is it gonna be long?
It's up in the air right now. We are gonna talk to them.
Make the list public.
But again, that is something directly related to the business and the cabinet itself. We're going to obviously want to talk to them and try to work with them because no one wants to see a business shut down.
They use AI, they should be shut down. Like, that's just the honest truth.
That's your opinion, Mira.
There will be
Opinion of a lot of
a
people.
active amount of time
People's
for them to
opinion.
deal with this and reach out and find people. It's not going to be all the time in the world. They
Mhm.
will have a suitable amount of time to deal with this.
Yes. We're giving people the an opportunity to rectify the situation that they're in. At least that way they can utilize services like the artist in San Andreas or, maybe a friend or a family member who does art.
And
What's
this
the
is, like
plan
we
to stop
said,
this from happening in the future?
Well,
I guess it didn't matter that it was written in the guidelines in the past, obviously. Since we're taking this first step forward with it actually. So I guess the best way to do that would be technically to get it legislated.
I'm going to say it. I appreciate that you guys ran it back, but I do think that it's very disingenuous that you guys changed this information about the businesses and then never made a state announcement or said anything about it, and we just had to stumble upon it. Like, that doesn't give me hope that you guys will tell us in the future when you change shit.
the whole point of these town hall meetings. We are very busy.
Why wasn't it, like, why didn't we get a town hall changed it then? No, it's
Guys,
just, it was changed
we
a
wanted
while
to go
ago
over
and no one said anything.
conversations and topics. We have a variety of different things that we had to go over. A lot of talks that you need to understand that we have to have as a mayor cabinet, including business council, to try to better San Andreas. If there's
That's the point, though. You
and
guys
here's-
made it and didn't make an announcement.
If you let me finish, I'll be more than happy to
Okay.
explain that. If you see something in the legislation or anything that's coming around, you guys are more than happy to reach out to us and talk to us as well. My number and my text message is open and available for anyone. And I can safely say with the business council too, you are more than happy to reach out to us, especially if there's something concerning. More than happy to sit down and talk to you guys and get either feedback, get understanding, and kind of have that conversation. Especially
We
if it's
have to
something that-
hunt for the changes you guys make, is what you're saying, and then we have to come to you.
No, I'm not saying hunt. I'm saying communicate.
But,
Kinda how
okay,
we're
so
doing
how
here.
do we find the information that you guys changed without you telling us? We have to
Town hall
look for it
meetings
ourselves.
and whatnot. Town hall meetings.
How
as
was it
well
changed?
Again, we're very busy people, and we're
Would
more
it
than
not be
happy.
more
to
So
communicate.
we're
conducive
making
to have a town
excuses.
hall
Okay.
first?
It's okay.
Okay, everybody. What
This
we're
is-
not going to do is have nasty attitudes when a lot of these people here are selflessly giving their time to try to help the
Okay,
city.
yep.
These things do not happen overnight. I need everybody to have some patience, okay?
Things don't
Conversations have to
happen overnight, but
both
the
from
change
mayor's
happened, and
office
then
and
no
the
one was
governor's
alerted.
office. So I just need everybody to exercise a bit of patience with the mayorship. It's a brand new term. Things are going to be a little rocky at first. When you get brought into something like this, it's difficult. So everyone needs to have patience, please. Being nasty does not, it's not productive.
Asking a question and then the question not being actually answered isn't being nasty.
You have a shitty attitude, honey, and I'm just being honest.
Please don't be nasty.
Ask questions and not have
Anyway,
a shitty
yeah, I
attitude.
ask questions.
This is over. You guys, everybody here, AI-wise, this has been addressed. There is no reason to point anger at people for people that are attempting to fix things. If you want to, you can go ahead and point towards the past. As it has been brought
That's not
up,
the question I asked.
it's been. This is the answer I'm giving.
Okay, so we're not answering the question. Got it.
You are not being
Typical of you.
conducive to the criticism that we need right now. I am giving you the answer you need. You can take it, or
The
you can leave.
question is why are things changed and then the citizens are not alerted? And the answer
Because-
I was given was, oh, it's AI, be patient.
This is
That's
quite
not what I
literally the
asked.
purpose of this town hall.
Yeah, I think that's why we're having
A
the
week and a
town
half
hall,
later.
is to announce those
After
things.
everyone complained. Got it.
No, this
You
has
are
been-
complaining about something that already existed, that we were touching up, that had been a problem that we noticed
Okay.
and actively attempted.
It is still big.
Mind you, I will remind you right now that in our term, this 1 month we have had, there has been less AI art actually used in our office than ever before because we have actively been regulating it. That has not happened ever before. Just because the wording is different and softer doesn't mean that our actual regulation was. We were harder on regulation than has ever been done. And the attempt we tried to do was that the hope was we could maybe build a registry of people that were using AI by inspiring them to admit to it. By admitting to it, we can get them on a registry and help them fix their patterns and also introduce a future where we now have the
Talk to me after the meeting. I've
actual
got
thing we're
something
doing
on
here
my-
now. And we do have some names of people that did come forward. So it did work in a sense.
Understand is that this is the whole point of the town hall meetings. I get that you feel like we're lacking communication, but again, our numbers are available for you guys to call if you do have any questions, especially if we update the information on the MDW and whatnot as well. If we don't know
Yes.
that there's a major concern, then by a citizen of San Andreas, then it's going unaware unless you speak up and let us know. Communication is 2 ways.
Would it not be more conducive to have a town hall meeting about the things you're going to change before actually changing it?
We don't have to tell you guys every single thing when we're trying to do things. And
You're
the
gonna have
thing
to get
is about
closer if
this,
you wanna yell.
mind yourself, this was a mayor's office experiment. And it did work for what we were trying to do it. The concerns that were raised about it weren't things that were actually affecting us. As I had mentioned a second ago, when this change happened a week ago, the floodgates didn't suddenly open and more AR just poured in. No, less AR poured in with us than has ever. The
The
AI art
council
you
has
are
openly
complaining about,
admitted it wasn't regulated in the
AI
first
art
place.
that you are complaining about is AI art that was already pre-approved by previous terms. We are the ones that actually made an active effort to deal with this. So
You're
you're complaining
actively-
about the wrong people here.
Hey, y'all hang around afterwards. I might got something that interests y'all.
So like T said, us communicating with you guys, we don't have to tell you everything we're doing. A lot of the times it's conversations on trying to figure out things that might work and, will work. Doesn't matter, we can, trust me, I can give you a long list and put out a state announcement that says, hey, this is everything we're working on, and you guys can have pages and pages of things that you can read. But again, we're trying to sort out what was made prior and trying to move things forward.
You can't tell already the theme heavily that we're focusing on is fixing issues that were already made prior. So as I understand your, frustration about this, as myself, somebody who has never used AI art ever, and has only ever paid artists to commission everything I've done, this is something I do care about, and I had made my concerns known about. This was an experiment that we tried. It worked in a very minuscule way. We didn't want it. It didn't work as good as we wanted it to, But the fact that we are regulating it was an active step we took that nobody else did. We were working towards this, and we were trying multiple methods to do it.
You know, in regards to the town hall, this wasn't something that was also sporadically brought upon you guys. This is something that we've actually talked about for over a week. Where me reaching out to T in regards to providing talking points in regards to, you know, the conversations that the council or the business council have behind us. So while trying to make sure that we have meetings with other areas like Polito, Grapeseed, and everything like that. We're trying to gather that information so we can have these town hall meetings and have that open line of communication. It's not something that's thought of within a day or two. It's something that's usually planned a week or two in advance.
Exactly. So again, I feel like some of you might be pointing your frustration at the wrong area here. We are actually shoring up issues with previous mayoral terms. This is something that was not dealt with in the past that we are actually dealing with. Yes, exactly. So we're going to go ahead and move into the actual Q&A. I think we've touched up on enough of that. We'll go back and touch up on business matters. If anybody had any business matters, it is now free mic. You are welcome to speak up. Hello, Blondie.
Hello.
Blondie.
Hello, Blondie, Lee, Bahama Mamas. Some of you may know that I'm looking to open Bahama Mamas not just as a weekly event venue, but as a daily entertainment venue. I've already partnered with Boat Circus for alcohol. We're going to be potentially partnering with Meadows Catering for food. The question I had, it might be a construction question, I'm not sure. But from what I've heard is Duval's has a radio in their place, and trying to give someone a lap dance to complete utter silence if I can't have a DJ all the time is a bit awkward. So I wanted to see about the potential of getting some sort of radio, television, something like that that could play generic, copyright-free / maybe even local artists that I license inside of Bahama Mamas and other establishments that may need them as well, like Tequila.
Currently, we don't have a radio, but is this for Bahama Mamas?
Yeah, I don't know if you've been in when there's no DJ playing music, but it is very quiet, and my ADHD brain cannot fucking take it. So I have to, have earplugs in when I'm in there if I don't have a DJ playing.
This is something I would have to discuss with Jerry, but we can reach out to you after I have a talk with Jerry about things like that.
Okay, can I give you my number?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put this up, and I'm just going to yeah.
Okay, I have
Thank
your
you.
phone number.
Thank you.
Hey there, Thomas. Did you have something?
Yeah. Oh, I know you guys are focusing on food trucks and mechanic shops a lot right now. I was
Trucks.
wondering at some point in the future if I could have a meeting so I could figure out what steps I could take or what I'm doing wrong, or just figure out future plans of what my company's doing.
Yeah. Every single business, it's not that we're just focusing on one thing specifically because there was a hyperinflation or an oversaturation. Every single business is welcome to approach us.
Okay. Cool.
Just feel free. Reach out.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello?
Hello, my name is Laszlo. I just was wondering if you guys could give any examples of businesses that you guys would like to see start. I know this question gets asked a lot and it's answered, but if you had anything specifically in mind, so for people that are looking to open a business but aren't quite sure who to get into, if you had like a list or a couple of examples that you think might help the city or that you're specifically interested in seeing start popping up around.
Jewelry store. We need a jewelry store.
Yeah, jewelry store. Do we know of anyone who currently makes jewelry?
There's proposals in our bank that we are looking through. So,
okay.
But to expand on that, businesses that don't fall into the same trap of people thinking they need to do a food truck perhaps, or they need to do a mechanic shop. I love to see and enable people that have creative mindsets. I would love to see some service industry around the state, things like industry of even construction companies that want to go around and fix potholes, and I can pay them to do that.
Ooh.
I was talking to a job site manager a few weeks ago, and I wanted to get him to do some things like that and also offer community service along the lines of that type of a job. So I just want to see you really spring an idea on us that I can say, wow, why didn't I think of that, or why didn't anybody think of that sooner? If you do that to me, I will definitely help put my weight on the scales and really try and get it looked at the very least. Because I love creativity and I want to enable that.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, I would also like to make another announcement. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to be having a sit-down at City Hall. Now, during this City Hall, we're going to be now accepting for the payment of fines. There's going to be a 25% upcharge for the processing fee, but you can reach us there. We'll have it all orderly and handled, and we will process your fines with the help of the law enforcement and the FIB on hand to help document these things. So you can spread that word right now, but come tomorrow, this will be a normal thing. So if you got any cash you need to get rid of, any fines you need to pay, tomorrow's the day. Now, if there's any other questions at all, we'll be willing to hear them for the next couple minutes. And if not, we will go ahead and conclude this meeting. You can. Yep, go ahead.
I also just want to reassure and reiterate that all of us are always available in the City Hall app. Please don't hesitate. If you're not able to talk on the phone, you can always send us a text message.
Mic's not working.
Get a microphone.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to reiterate and reassure everyone that all of us are always available on the City Hall app whenever we're on duty. Feel free to just call us with any questions that you guys might have. Don't worry if you think it's a dumb question. I'd rather everyone ask whatever question they have, and we'll do our best to get an answer to you guys as well. If you're not able to talk on the phone, you can always just send us a text as well. So just wanted to reiterate that.
Okay, it looks like then we have no more questions. So with that, we will wrap up the town hall. We can look forward to doing these monthly. I will have another one in, this has actually been 1 month to the day of the election. So the actual inaugural first day. So that's why this day, it landed on this day, and you can look forward to another one on the next 3rd. Thank you for all coming out. And I'm gladly here to hear your concerns after if you want to approach me personally. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well, that was interesting.
Oh shit, Blondie's.
What are you talking about me for?
Yeah, I think so.
weapons charms. Would you guys like to have like a weapons charm? Like maybe a,
That?
I don't know, a terrible hanging off.
I know.
Like a. That'd be pretty cool, though. I'm not sure if we would be allowed to, because it's still government equipment, right? You mean like charms, right? To hang off from the handle and stuff like that. Your best shot would try to be contact maybe one of the captains, or like a sergeant, right? Because they could. I can move it up to the chain if you guys got a phone number I can take, right? And say like these guys might want to have a meeting.
What are you asking?
Yeah, I would think it's pretty
I don't
cool.
know if this is on, but we also
I'm
have
not
Pancake
sure
Parlor
if it
here on
would, you know,
on my
what are you
left,
asking?
y'all's
I
right.
listen.
If you guys need any food or drink.
Food trucks were supposed to be at designated areas.
It's Meadows Catering.
My bad, Meadows Catering. My bad.
Isn't that why we have
serial numbers?
Serial numbers
You
on
was
the gun,
sleeping?
though?
We can slowly start breaking off from this. Yeah, it's been ended. I think there's only a couple more questions and.
Well, that would be illegal. So the charms lose their worries.
Yeah, if it ain't gonna come back to you, so.
Why do you need a marker gun? I'm confused. Painted pink.
Upset because
If you want to fucking paint it, I'm pretty sure you can do whatever you want with your gun. Just it's serial
No
visible.
reason. I mean, you can shoot random shit.
They're decorating.
All right, and I think that's going to be the end.